I think the biggest mistake, the biggest percentage of the population probably makes is putting their money, following the advice of their bank, which is you have a current account, you get a measly bit of interest on that money, and then you get upsold into a cash ISA, which still doesn't pay you fair market rate, and then you never think about investing again. And you think that magically money will increase, not realizing that actually that rate that your bank is paying you is probably almost fully going towards inflation, eating away at your return. So I think not starting is the most obvious way in which most people fail, including myself. It took until my third job in finance before I had an investment account. And so I, at this point, should have been much better educated and understanding of what the markets are like. And I was very well informed in some areas in finance, yet still in my personal finances, I just hadn't gone through the effort, the cognitive load of researching where to put my money and invest. So I think step one is get engaged and put money that's appropriate into the market. But then a lot of people err on the other side too, which is invest in things they do not understand. It is important that when you invest, you have a reasonable understanding of the type of investment you are putting your money into. As those stocks, they're relatively vanilla, or funds of stocks are relatively vanilla, simple to understand. They're little chunks of the biggest companies. And if the companies are successful, then the value of the companies will go up and they'll be successful over time. But there are a lot of products out there that are much harder to understand, that have kind of leverage and that price risk in a funky way, where I think for most people it's probably not worth engaging with. And I think there's a risk that if you go, so we have to find a path of investing, which is don't take too little risk, but definitely don't take too much risk. And I think too much risk for a lot of people just means investing in things that they don't fully understand.
I think I might know the answer to this based on that, but what would you say is your biggest investing mistake that you've made?
I think for me, it was also investing in something I did not understand.
Okay.
So in the early, when I first, so I was like quite a late bloomer. And then when I think over the pandemic, a lot of people got into investing, I also started looking around, just trying to understand a bit, play with different instruments. And at some point, I bought one of these leveraged ETFs without properly reading the kits for them. I think some of us make these mistakes. I will never do it again. I didn't put a lot of money in, but it was, I think, an investment that went to zero.
Yeah. They can get very spicy very quickly.